Hello, everybody. We have a really fun topic today. I'm super stoked about it. I'm just going to wait for some more of you to pop on here. I don't know why my neck looks red or my face. I really don't know why. Well, actually, maybe it's because I'm 3 minutes late to my own stream because I was choreographing a dance. Maybe that's why I look a little red right now. Sorry, guys. How are we feeling? How are we doing? Today, we are talking about, oh, that's my moderator texting me. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry, girly. I was I was a little late. It wouldn't let me set it to 7:03. It just was in 15-minute increments, but I just started it. So, anyway, um, we are answering Reddit's spiritual questions. These are from a few different forms. And I have a few, I think, how many? What the heck? I don't know if we're going to get to all these, but I copy and pasted a number of them just in case. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And these are some of these are big questions. And I'm so excited because I'm very passionate and feel very strongly about all these topics. So I'm glad that I found them. So, okay, we're almost 2 minutes in. Why not get started? Let's see. Can you hear me okay, by the way? I was holding my microphone kind of far away there for the introduction. Okay, I'm going to put this right here. Okay, so this is from a comment under a post of questions people never got answers to from r/spirituality, and it reads, if the universe is infinite, where's the universe? I mean, I understand my perceptions are constrained by the limits of my very human mind, but this one drives me bonkers. Yes, well, first of all, limits of the human mind, correct. Like that is everything is very linear for us, everything is very categorized. And so to be able to define something that is so broad is kind of hard because by nature it cannot really be categorized because it's everything. And so if the universe is infinite, where is it? It's everywhere. It's everywhere. It's in everyone. It's in everything because we are all expressions of source experiencing itself. I know I'm not the first person who said that. That exact phrasing shows up in various forms of media. We are source experiencing itself. So, where is it? I mean, if you can imagine like just layers forward and back, up and down, side to side, and just infinite ripples and just infinite. Oh my gosh, there was this one video where I forgot what class it was. I think I was in high school or maybe even middle school when they showed it to us to demonstrate just how big the universe is. And it just kept zooming out and zooming out. And I just remember it was like the Milky Way, and then you zoom out, and then all these other galaxies, and then you zoom out again, and it's like da da da. But then a couple layers later, it was like these bubbles falling down a waterfall. And it kept zooming out over and over and over again. And so I mean, source in the universe is in every cell, in every atom, if you go teeny tiny. And then if you blow it out like that, what I just described, you zoom out, you zoom out, you zoom out, that's also source. So it's literally the tiniest form of matter spiritually that is called partiki. It's in the partiki. And then for 3D science, it's in atoms and in protons. And then at the biggest scale, it's in, forms, life forms, whales and humans and everybody. So everybody and everything. So I hope that that's the answer that whoever this person was seeking, if they're even watching this. I love how I'm like, they're watching this. I don't know if they'll ever find this, but I hope that's a good answer, I guess. So from this same post, there's another comment that says, experiencing synchronicities about a specific person. My entire spiritual awakening happened all because I got bloody tired and finally Googled what it meant to see a person's birthday number literally everywhere, and things snowballed from there. Haven't found any answers that make sense regarding synchronicities related to a specific person, only experiencing them with a person. Only things I ever find that match my experience involves twin flames, which I don't really believe in. So that's what this question is. I talk about this a little bit in other videos on my channel, but basically, I have experienced this myself. And the simple, straightforward answer is that the person's a mirror for this commenter. They like who they are as a person, their experiences, the synchronicities that come up. There's something about them, their life, their personality that is supposed to be helpful to the perceiver, to this commenter, in a way that supports their journey and shows them some type of, I don't want to say answer, but something to reflect upon within their own selves. Like I said, a mirror. But to dig into the kind of twin flame stuff, it's very, very easy to run away with um, synchronicities like this. And I actually talked about it. When was it? It was 2 live streams ago, I think, where I talk about parasocial spiritual psychosis. Um, Whether or not you actually meet somebody in person ever, if you are having synchronicities, dreams of them, like this person said, they see the person's birthday everywhere. It doesn't mean that you're destined lovers who will collide and break space and time and rule the world. Like, that doesn't mean that all the time. My girly did say, hang on. Yikes. Okay. Is that fixed now, you guys? I'm so sorry. I don't know how the replay is gonna look. I got a text from my moderator saying that it was buffering, and I hope that it's fixed now. Yes. Okay. Thank you. I'm sorry. I had to switch networks because the Wi-Fi here for some reason has been dropping a lot lately. I don't know why. So sorry about that. Basically, what I was saying was, I mean, just I was just going into my answer to this question more. It's not always some like dramatic, big, like, oh, you are divine counterparts and you're meant to save the world together. And I feel like people, and I can empathize, it feels really cool. And like, wow, I understand why some people might interpret it that way because you kind of maybe want that. You want to feel a sense of significance or connection with the person. That's totally understandable. It's just spirit most of the time, whatever they show us, it doesn't have to be a person. It can just be like a situation at work or a period of. So I think that that's all I really have to say to that comment. Basically, okay, I'm sorry about the connection issues, you guys. I really don't know what's going on. Another comment from this same post says, I know this is cliche, but I often ask, does God exist? And if so, why continue to let so much suffering continue to happen? This is so common. So many people ask this across so many different belief systems. And it's hard, but my personal answer is very much connected to my answer to the first question, but also looping in some other stuff that I've talked about in my other videos. So, the thing about being source is that in the collective, in the highest form, the highest frequency, we are all eternal, where everything is already done. There is no doing at all. There's no doing, there's only being. And technically, I mean, in my opinion, if everything's already done at that level, there's technically no creation because everything just is already and always has been. Does that make sense? So it's like, with that in mind, our existence in the 3D all the way down from 64D plus, that's how many, I know that's a lot, the multidimensional plane. Stepping down from that, there are so many layers and levels of separation. And essentially, I like to see us as puzzle pieces where we are all such unique, incredible expressions of the one, of the universe. And with that in mind, it's like we came here to have what I like to call manual experiences. And sometimes that can include suffering, to have what I like to call manual experiences. And sometimes that can include suffering because there is absolutely none of that in the Source Collective. So, to have, because if you think about the universe, you think about creation, if you think about all that is, everything, the whole spectrum, good and bad, right and wrong, I mean, those are categorized binaries for our human brains, but like all the different emotions, all the different events, and things that feel pleasant or unpleasant, and just the variety. There's so many different ways to be and experiences to have. And so, for that to be expressed and to be brought out into a physical form, for it to be created, that is why these things happen, because all that is source, and it includes every possible thing that could ever exist anywhere across the freaking like multiverse. Think about it like that. Think about it like that. I'm gonna just here. Is it working now? Is it watering now? Thanks, autocorrect. Um, so okay, that is my answer to that. um, it's something that we incarnate into because it is us trying to express everything that exists anywhere, at all, like all the time. I hope that makes sense. So, okay, we're going to go ahead and get into the next question. This is a question post from r/psychic, and oh my gosh, this is a big one. So, I've seen black shadow people out of the corner of my eye for a long time. I recently went to a psychic who told me I needed to be cleansed and do a generational curse ritual. She had me light a candle twice a day, bathe in stuff she gave me, I think it was mineral sea salt, and pray. After about 2 weeks, she told me she needed $1,500 to finish the job, a male and female Barbie, a pic of everyone in my house, water from my house, and ribbons colored the color of chakras, and my name, a birthday written 7 times. I just copy and pasted this directly. That may have been a typo, but she then made me light 4 candles, stick 2 fingers in my water, and draw a cross on my head. We then said this hide prayer while my fingers were in the water. She then kept everything: the dolls, paper, pics, ribbons, water. I'm thinking I was scammed, but what I can't figure out is how, during those 2 weeks of the first initial cleansing, quote unquote, I went from seeing black shadow people all the time to seeing white shadow people. Do y'all have any ideas? Also, what was all that stuff she needed for? So, this is very, very complicated. Okay, my first thought reading this was, okay, this person's seeing shadow figures in their peripheral. That's so freaking normal. I'm sorry. That's n- unless you are having nightmares or other symptoms paired with the sightings, that is completely normal, especially for somebody who is a medium. And I think somebody actually commented on this post saying, "You're a medium and you just don't know it yet," or whatever. And so basically, it's like, that's number one. I don't think they needed any intervention at all. This what this person did for them is like a oh my gosh, that's like a I'm trying to think of an example, just something that's so much worse. You have a number of poltergeists in your house and you are actively fi- like re- you are actively in danger at a semi-physical level because I know the movies like to play it up. The throwing of objects and all that, yes, it does happen, but it's not as dire or life or death as the movies make it out to be all the time. That's very rare. And we as people are very protected by not only angels, but our guides as well. So that is not something you run into a lot. And so for a whole huge long thing with all of these objects, I know, I mean, to answer this person's question, the objects of I mean, they are all representations. You know, the male and female doll to represent the masculine and feminine um, energies, and then the 7 colored ribbons for the 7 chakras, I think they said that. A pic of everyone in their house to cut the energetic ties from everyone in this space. That makes sense to me. What else did they say? Water from your house, a way to cleanse as an attach a way to cleanse because the element of water is like um a cleansing it's a cleansing element. Sorry, I lost my train of thought there for a second. And so if it's water from their house specifically, again, kind of cutting the cord not only with the people in the house with the pictures, but with the house itself, the property, which I do appreciate that like all encompassing, like they didn't leave any stone unturned in that sense. Because it can just come back if it's attached to the house and not attached to the people. But if this was a serious ritual, you want to just rule everything out, probably. So you have object cord cutting, you have people cord cutting, you have property cord cutting, all of it. So that makes sense to me. Birthday and then name written 7 times. 7? I mean, I guess because 3 is like the basic, but that might not be enough. So, I mean, 3 plus 3 is 6 plus 7. Maybe that's a number that is resonant with the spell caster or the curse breaker, I should say, and they've empowered it for themselves in that way. But put 2 fingers in the water and draw a cross on their head. I know that the putting crosses on the forehead specifically has roots in Italian witchcraft. And I know that some of the other elements of this ritual, that is actually, I read in the comments of this post, Vodou. So people might know it as hoodoo and voodoo. It's Vodou, Voudo. Um, those traditions, that is a closed practice, but Italian folk magic, that's not technically a closed practice. I've seen not necessarily a cross like this, but like an X shape that you make on your forehead to get rid of malocchio, which is curse, yucky attack energy, psychic attack energy in the Italian culture. So, anyway, um, this was just completely unwarranted, especially, I mean, $1,500, all those objects. They're they like whoever this psychic is approached this situation like it was again a horrible property with a number of poltergeists and people are actively in danger. Like this is not what was happening. This person was just seeing shadow figures in their peripheral, which is literally normal and literally something that happens all the time. So now I guess where this naturally goes is, well, what did this psychic actually do? Maybe they healed something, they released some cycle, some curse, but it was not in direct relation to the person's issue, unless these were like lost soul entity attachments. But even that, you can take and remove that with an energy healing session. You don't need like a ritual like this, which let me say really quick, everybody's practice is different. So whatever that looks like for you, it could be an energy work session, or it could be a more traditional ritual with like physical objects to represent the phases of the cord cutting and the curse breaking, right? I just, I mean, this is the whole story. I'm pretty sure, I mean, this is the original post. This is all that OP said. So I just don't, I don't know if there's any other context from this section that I copy and pasted to dig into more. Those are my thoughts with that. I think that it was an overreaction with what this person was experiencing. And yeah, it was just an overreaction. I guess that's it. Unless, like I said, but we have to go based on what OP said. If there were other symptoms, then dig into that and address that. But OP didn't say that. They just said, "Oh, I've been seeing these shadow figures." But I guess at the end here, I almost forgot. They went from seeing black shadow people to white shadow people. You know what? This is strange, but hear me out. Maybe this was more of like an aura, like an aura thing. A miasma may have been hanging on them, and then with this ritual, it removed that energy, and so it unclouded their perception. So now these figures in front of them look like lighter in color, but maybe they're just the same beings. It's just now there's a filter removed off of OP because now the smoke or the smog in their field is gone. Does that make sense? I know that's kind of unconventional, um, but that's like the only thing that's coming to mind right now, just off the top of my head. So, anyway, okay. So, let's go ahead and move on here. A different mass question thread this comes from in r/spirituality. And this is just straight to the point. Psychedelics, meditation, or other. That's it. And so I remember one of the very first conversations I had with one of my very first mentors ever when I started my spiritual journey nearly 8 years ago. It'll be 8 years mid-June. It's coming up, you guys. I'll probably have a special stream for it or something going on social media, so keep an eye out. But basically, I remember my very first mentor, she said there's kind of a split in the spiritual community where some people are really kind of, I guess, purists, I could call them. Um, because they're like, no, you don't need plant medicine at all. I think these are these people, they're like, they think that nobody needs plant medicine ever. And if people do use plant medicine, it's like a cop out and it's just the easy way out. And oh, wow, you had your awakening with plant medicine? Yeah, well, I was able to see all of that without needing that, excuse me. And the other side of it is, well, no, like this can be used as a tool and it can open you up and I guess forcibly peel apart some of the filters and the layers that can come upon you just by incarnating into a human body, but also, depending on your experiences, depending on the energy that's around you, sometimes external influences can make things not so easy or not so clear to access unless you know how to, set a space, shield, align, ground, those kinds of things. So, with that in mind, my answer is, I mean, you have to see what works best for you. In my opinion, start with meditation. The foundations have to be built for a more stable tower to be made. I don't think that anyone should just jump right into plant medicine as they're starting their spiritual journey because I guess in my opinion in that case where it's like, "Oh, I want to have a cool vision." Okay. And then they take a thing. In my opinion, I do think that's a cop out in that situation where it's like, well, I just want to experience something. And they're trying to, there's an ant on my screen. Oh my goodness. And they're like they're trying to get from point A to point B as quickly as possible because they just want to see something. They want to see something cool or whatever. It's like, think about your intention. Think about where you're coming from with this and what is going to benefit you in the long run and what feels most authentic to you and your experience and like your journey, essentially what you want for yourself and your journey. So, okay, let's go ahead and do this. Did I miss any of these? I don't think so. Let me see. If the universe is infinite, we already answered that. And we also answered the synchronicities, and then we did the cliche. God exists, and then the ritual, and then the psychic. Okay, so from this same post, a mass question thread in r/spirituality, they say, hi, I am currently going through the learning of spirituality, and I have one question. From what I have discovered, we choose our life and death before we reincarnate. Yes, that's true. A soul that has left a body by shock, i.e., accident, can hover here or be a little disoriented when it arrives at the spirit world. Why is this when they knew what would happen to them? So, what did I talk about earlier about the downstepping throughout the multidimensional plane? I think this plays a key role in this of you are coming here essentially to live out a story, to play a video game. I know like referring to it as a video game or as a simulation is kind of cliche, but it's kind of a good way to explain it. You want to have the manual experience. You want to do things with your hands and create things and have free will and do all of that human stuff because that is not your nature. This is like a fun vacation time, even if it doesn't feel so fun all the time in actual day-to-day life. So I believe that what they're referring to here, like, oh, well, if a soul is hanging around, if they're tethered to earth, right? Because that's what mediums like me help souls with. If they need help ascending and moving on, if they're stuck, if they have some question or fear or unfinished business, I am supposed to be there to talk them through it so that they can be at peace. And that right there is something that they included in their story to live. They wanted to have that experience of, having this shock. Oh my gosh, so dramatic. And then they're out of their body and their spirit now. And they're like, oh my gosh, I have passed away. And then, oh my gosh, look at this like purgatory, this spirit realm. And then ultimately the experience where they either receive some type of help or some type of clarity where they ascend after that. It's all a part of the story. It's all a part of the experience. So that is my that's my question. That's my answer to that. And we're about at the 35-minute mark-ish. I'm so sorry. I have no idea how this replay is going to look. I know that my moderator told me the screen froze quite a few times. So I'm so sorry about that. I don't know why that happened. And hopefully the replay will look okay. I'd like to do this again sometime. I love Reddit stories and I love Q&As. So why not combine finding questions on Reddit? It's cool and it's fun for me. It makes me use my brain in like math meme ways, So it's very stimulating for me and I hope that it's helpful for you. If you've had similar questions or you didn't really realize like, oh, I guess I didn't know that, or oh, I would like to know that. Whatever the case may be for you, I hope it was a fun time. I hope it was entertaining for you. I am here every single Wednesday at 7 p.m. CDT and the other time zones in North America. I'm sorry. If you guys want Europe time zone stamps as well, I should add that. I realized that it was just North American timestamps in my banner. and in my little promo post in my community tab. But I have a few different time zones there for you to find wherever you live, whatever works for you, the time there. That is your time. Check it out. So, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next stream at the same time next week. And I've said this before in my other videos, but I'll say it again here. I don't have a queue. I don't have a lineup of the upcoming stream topics because I need to feel into what is most authentic for me to speak on that day. So, like, even just a few hours ago, I thought I was going to talk about and rant about shifting, how people, especially on TikTok, oh my gosh, I don't know if they still talk about it, but back when I was on a couple years ago, like, shift to the Harry Potter world, shift to blah blah blah, shift to the timeline where you are destined to love so and so, and just I have you already know, for the people who know me, you know already that I have opinions about that, and I started scripting my talking points, but at the last minute, I was like, "Nah, like, I don't really wanna talk about that." So I found these questions on Reddit instead. So that's the exact reason why I don't line it up. I wanna keep it so authentic, so transparent for you guys. I wanna show up and be passionate and not just, like, come on here and go through the motions and read a script. Like, I wanna actually enjoy and be passionate about what I'm talking about with you. So I don't know what I'm going to talk about yet next week, but come and hang out. It's a fun, cozy vibe where I just talk and chill with you. So, thank you so much for watching. If you're not already subscribed, please do subscribe if you would like to. And a little quick announcement here, I am coming out with culty videos soon. It's gonna be a whole very intense long series, and I'm still scripting it and planning it out. I have not heard back from some of the shows I have applied to be a guest on to tell my story. And I'm still open to that. It's just I'm kind of sitting here like, well, what can I do now? I want to tell my story. I have a lot to say and I can spread it across various videos. So it's going to be a whole structured thing. It's kind of be a lot though. So I haven't I'm still in the planning stages, but I'm progressing because before I was just kind of waiting to hear back from these people, but now I'm like, no, I can do this in my own way, my own version. Um and I do think it is supportive for me now. At first, I wasn't sure, but now I know. So I needed this time to reflect on that and to see what that would look like. And now I kind of have an idea. So I'm going to plan it out. I'm going to see. I want to release that relatively soon, though. So, oh my gosh, especially the 2-year anniversary of me leaving the cult. Oh, maybe it'll be like a what if I dropped it on the day that I left 2 years ago? That would be really cool. Let me know what you think. Um, so okay, anyway, wishing you a wonderful rest of your day, night, wherever you may be, and I will see you in the next one.